Hey San Diego, I'm Connor Kane, your host for The Block.
And I'm Atiana Parker, your co-host for the show.
Our show delivers stories on business, entertainment, art, technology, and sports that make San Diego special. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the season finale of the show. Today we'll be introducing you to a restaurant that has had a huge impact on the downtown community.
You'll also meet an all-star pitcher whose story took him back to his Southern California roots, and Project Runway winner Nell Tipton and her plans to impact the fashion industry.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Breaking image barriers in the fashion industry has been the theme of this designer's life. Bringing a whole new meaning to plus-size attire, self-love and positive self-image have been the foundation of this designer's success. Meet Nell Tipton.
I'm Nell Tipton. I am the CEO and designer of Nell Tipton Designs. I was born in San Diego, grew up in the southeast area. I had a huge Hispanic family. My mother is Mexican and my father is from here. There's always a ton of kids running around, everyone together for the holidays. It was very loving. When I first found out that I wanted to do something in fashion was probably my freshman year in high school. I went into theater and I was trying to find something that I can do in theater. I was like, I'm not the actress, I can't memorize things. I was like, maybe I can do like behind the scenes. Maybe costume design would be something that I would be really interested in. When I started basically drawing more outfits and garments and draping fabric, and I just got a feel for it, and I really enjoyed what the process was and then the outcome of seeing your final work. I graduated from University City High School in La Jolla. There is where I first created my first collection using my friends as my models. So they were all different sizes, and I just got to design whatever I had in my head, and it was a spring line, and it was basically my final project for my senior year. And with that, I was like, okay, I really want to go to college. So I went to Fashion Career College, where I got my degree there. It was really refreshing to be able to go to school enjoying what you really like to do. Like, you're not being forced to go. And it's like you get to breathe, eat, and sleep what it is that you love to do. Growing up for me, I don't even know where to begin with this. One of the roughest times that I had growing up is being teased for my size and not being able to find an outlet where I can express myself. I felt very different and I didn't know why. And then also growing up being dyslexic was super hard. So I had two things that I was like, what do I do with being a bigger person and having a disability where I'm not able to read and write, just like everyone else who's the same age, having to grow up and build thicker skin and learn that not everyone's gonna like you. And you just have to let those things go.
We'll take it slow.
Any advice that I can give to little Ashley would have been like, don't worry. Life is gonna, I wanna cry now. Life is gonna get better. And you're gonna find a purpose in life. So the journey to Project Runway, people had constantly asked me like, how come you haven't applied for that show? Or do you ever see yourself going on that show? And the answer was always no. I never wanted to go on there. I never wanted to get famous because of that show. But it just so happened that my grandmother had passed away, and 2 days after she passed away, I received an email to apply for the show. I didn't want to do it. I was like, no, this isn't for me. Like, the prize seems amazing. You get to win money, a car, and all these other things. And I'm like, that just seems too far away for me to ever achieve. And at the time, I had an intern, which was my cousin helping me out with my business. And she was like, I'll help you apply. And before you know it, I'm going to LA for like a one-on-one interview with the producers. And it was like months and months of auditioning with them. This thing became so much bigger than I first expected it to be. And so it kept me busy, and I just kept going along with it. And then 3 months later, it's like, you're on the show. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, doing it again the next day. It's like you feel like you can never get a break. No matter if I didn't win or not, I was gonna be happy with wherever I landed, because I told myself that I just wanted to push myself as far as I can. So going into the final challenge was doing New York Fashion Week, where they gave us $9,000 to create a 10-look collection at home. And that, I felt like, was the ultimate challenge, was going back home and creating this collection with all the distractions around you. Because you want to see your family, you want to see your friends, you want to get back to how life was before you left. And you can't, because you only have 6 weeks to create this line. And I knew that I wanted to create a plus size collection. So I knew that there was a lot of pressure on me, because the judges were expecting so much from me. And so I wanted to make sure that I made a huge impact, and that the line that I was creating was also going to be up there with it. I wanted to go against the grain of what people expect plus size women to wear. Once they announced that I won the show, it was more of a moment like, okay, this is really happening. I had to keep telling myself for weeks after that, like, I won Project Runway, I won this competition, like, I won something that I've been watching for years and years and years, and now I can put myself with those rest of the people who've won this season before me. So the first things I did after winning Project Runway was sign a contract with JCPenney's as the brand ambassador for a new clothing section that they're gonna have called Boutique Plus, which is their new plus size women's clothing line. And so they wanted to create a line underneath that with my name and my designs for plus size women, starting from a size 14 all the way to a size 30. My next goal is to be able to embrace people and what they want to do and who they are, letting them know that there's no such thing as being perfect, and to accept who you are and to love yourself and to believe in yourself. People have knocked me down so many times and told me that I will never be able to achieve things, and to be able to look back and like, I did it. I didn't listen to them. That feedback didn't mean anything to me, but it pushed me to keep going, basically.
To learn more about Ashley, visit ashleynelltipton.com.
When you have more month than your food, you make sure your kids don't ever go to sleep hungry.
We have many kids that are coming to school hungry, and when they're hungry, their mind is not on math, language arts.
Sometimes academic doesn't happen if you're hungry.
Feeding San Diego is a godsend, and it's a variety of food.
Fresh food that I swear it feels like it just came off of the tree.
Feeding San Diego serves people who
serve our country,
raise families,
and seek education.
To donate, visit feedingsandiego.org.
Coming to America and building a life for herself was her only option. Her restaurant is among the best in the city. The family atmosphere is second to none. Letting no obstacles get in the way of her dreams, meet Mary Pappas.
I love every minute I'm in Athens Market from the very beginning. 42 years now. My God, 42 years, that's a lifetime. But anyway, it was always great because of the people, the clients that I got to meet. In the very beginning, the Union Tribune was downtown. All the people from the paper would come in. The city attorney was John Witt, and all the attorneys, the district attorney people, the U.S. attorney people, everyone, would come in for lunch. And I met stars, Bob Hope, Elizabeth Montgomery. I mean, I can go on and on, the people that I've met in this restaurant that I have had a great, experience with. Hi, I'm Mary Pappas. I'm the owner of Athens Market for the last 42 years. Born and raised in a town called Levidi, which is in the center of the Peloponnese, up in the mountains by a ski resort, and it looks more like Switzerland than Greek or the Greek islands that everybody has in their mind what Greece is all about. And at that time, I was born in 1946, so it was right after the war. We didn't have running water nor electricity, but we were happy. There were 5 sisters. My father had 5 daughters, no sons, even though he wanted a son. And I was the second one, and he always called me the son he never had. So I grew up as a baby in the restaurant business. It's kind of in my blood. And when I was going to school, always I worked as a waitress. When I was at San Diego State, I worked at a Chinese restaurant in La Mesa every night. Went to school during the day. I was a Greek in a Chinese restaurant, waiting tables. And I always, worked in a restaurant all my life, part-time or full-time. The history of the Athens Market is very amazing. It started in 1934. A Greek man, Uncle Tom, everybody called him, opened up a market, Athens Market, that had Greek products, vegetables, and it was between 4th and 5th on East Street. And then he gave it to his nephew, and the nephew then sold it to a young man who was a very good-looking Greek man who had an affair with the wife of an older man. And the old man told him that if he didn't stop messing around with his wife, he'd blow his brains off. And one day he caught him and did that. So my aunt ended up buying the Athens Market that this young man had. And in 1964, she bought it. In 1974, her son was a captain on the Midway, which was stationed in Yokosuka, Yokohama, Japan. And he had promised her to bring her there to stay for a year. And she put the restaurant up for sale and tried to sell it for the longest time. Nothing. Her partner really didn't want to sell. And I came to the Athens Market from Western States Law School after class one day, and she was crying because she would have to cancel her trip. She could not go to Japan. 6 months before, I went to the Greek festival. That's Greek church here, and they were raffling off a car. $50 per ticket. I didn't have $50 to buy a raffle ticket. Even today, $50 for a raffle ticket would be a lot. And at the end of the night, the guy came on the stage and says, "We only have very few tickets. Come on, come and buy a ticket. Your chances are great." And we were dancing after that. I couldn't hear the dancing music, nothing. All I could hear is buy a ticket, buy a ticket. I bought the ticket. I won the car, but I didn't take the car. I took the money. So I had enough money when I went to visit my aunt that day after law school to use that money to buy the Athens Market with. It's crazy, but it's true. Athens Market, all the people that come in come back again. I hardly ever advertised. I did never, all throughout the years. The only kind of advertising is word of mouth, and people that come in come again and again. All the Greek items like moussaka and pasticcio and dolmades. Dolmades are the grape leaves. Pasticcio is a type of a lasagna, but very fluffy and light, not as heavy as the lasagna. Moussaka is layers of eggplant and zucchini and a bechamel sauce, baked like a casserole. We have cheese kebabs, the skewers with the beef, which we use New York steak to make it with, which is very tender. Our chicken kebabs are made with, morsels of breast of chicken. We have the pork kebabs. We have lamb shanks, which is similar to asabuco, and we serve it with a great Greek-style pasta, really good. Everybody wants to know when I'm going to retire, and I tell them when I die. and it's going to continue like this because it's more like a Cheers. If you ask people that come in, they feel like they go. I don't know if you remember the show Cheers. It's not that old, but people come in and everybody know everybody. People talk to each other. They come in and they communicate with people, and it's really a nice feel to see all these people come in. And I've done a lot in my life, and I'm happy and I'm blessed and grateful for what I have done. There's a little girl that grew up in a little village, no electricity, no running water, and I live in one of the most wonderful buildings in San Diego. And I'm very blessed. It's hard work and perseverance, you know that? Luck comes in sometimes. I was lucky to win that raffle ticket, but I listened to my gut, you know. Hello, I am Mary Pappas, owner of Athens Market in downtown San Diego. You are watching The Block.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh.
Make sure you visit Athens Market in downtown at 109 West F Street.
Hey San Diego, I'm Chelsea Baird, your station host for The Block TV. This weekend, take flight at the Temecula Balloon and Wine Festival. Hot air balloon rides begin at sunrise, and there'll also be food and wine tastings all weekend long. For details on that and other events, head to our website, theblocksd.tv. You can also check out profiles on local businesses and entertainers like the duo behind Dottie Music Group. Stay tuned and stay on the rise.
Following the ups and downs of this MLB star's career will have you on the edge of your seat. Meet Heath Bell.
Growing up, I love sports. My dad would take me to a Padre game or Anaheim Angel game, a couple Dodger games, and I always told him, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna play here one day. And he's like, well, great. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna have 50,000 people cheer me and boo me. And he goes, son, why do you want them to boo you? And he said I was like 5 or 6 at that time. He goes, because I'm on the opposing team and I'm kicking the home team's butt. Hi, I'm Heath Bell, retired professional Major League Baseball player, father of 4, and hopefully a pretty good-looking husband. My dad was a Marine stationed at Camp Pendleton. I was born in Oceanside. Then we moved up to Orange County. I think I was about 5 years old when I started playing Little League. Never made the All-Star team, but loved baseball, you know, worked my butt out, go out there, and I wasn't very good, but I loved baseball. I'd go outside and throw a rock up and hit it with a stick, or throw a tennis ball against our garage door, and I was just all baseball. Played all 4 years at Tustin High. I didn't throw hard. I threw about 80, 82 miles an hour, but I got everybody out because I knew how to pitch. But I became the lowest ERA of all of Orange County my senior year. And I thought I had a chance to go to college, and no colleges were really interested in me. So I went to a community college that I thought my baseball career was kind of going to be ending, because I didn't know anything back then, but I didn't know junior college is actually pretty good in baseball. So I went to Santa Ana Community College, walked onto that team, did really well, became freshman All-American, got a full ride to Cal State Fullerton. Thought I was going to get a chance to get drafted, because a week before the draft came along, the Mets called me up, Oakland called me up, and the Rockies called me up. What's it going to take to draft you, or to sign you? And I said, I don't have any money, but I'm ready to go. I said, just draft me. The draft comes, no draft. The next day, not signed. So I called the Mets guy up, Bob Miner, and I asked him, hey, why didn't I get drafted? And he said, he kind of gave me some BS line and said, we just kind of see you as kind of a fat kid that can throw strikes but no potential. And I said, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. And he goes, okay. Went to Alaska, started playing. I was about 2-3 weeks up there playing collegiate ball. And Bob Miner called me and said, hey, we didn't draft enough guys in our rookie ball team. It's an advanced rookie they had in Kingsport, Tennessee. We only have 14 guys, and we need 25. We need 11 more guys. Do you want to come play? And I was like, yeah. In my rookie season, in rookie ball, we had guys that threw 97 miles an hour. And they were drafted, first round, second round. We had a lot of draft picks on our team. They would come to me and say, Heath, I'm in the stands. You struck the side out, and you threw 86, 87 miles an hour. I didn't throw anything below 95. And I threw 7 innings, and I struck one guy out. Like, what are you doing? And that got me thinking. So I started talking to him, just, talk pitching. So I went to the catchers, and I started asking them, hey, like, where do you set up with Willie? Because I was trying to help Willie so we could win as a team. And he's like, I just set up down the middle. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, he has no idea where it's going. Like, he's got an unbelievable curveball, an unbelievable fastball, but he has no idea where it's going. And I'm like, who do you do that with? Because you move back and forth. He goes, you and Gary are the only 2 guys, the only pitchers that I actually move. So I go to high A, and there's not really guns. It shows you how hard people throw. I think there's mostly nowadays. And the first month, everybody was like, Heath, you're throwing 97, 98. And I thought they were just trying to get my goat. And I was like, no, I'm not. So then I looked at the gun chart literally a month after the season. I was sitting at 96, 97 miles an hour. And turning back to give some props to my wife goes, none of that's true. It's because you met me. One of my best moments ever is the end of my first year in 2004. I'm walking out of Shea Stadium with my wife and one of the bat boys, and I just started laughing. And my wife's like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, dude, I'm in the big leagues. But I could just sit back now and go, dude, I've made the dream. If I never pitch again next year, my dream come true. The kid that didn't play varsity until his senior year, a kid that in a career day in elementary and junior high, it was like, hey, what do you want to do when you get older? I want to be a Major League Baseball player. Yeah, it's only 1%, but what do you really want to do? You got to find something else. Why can't I be that 1%? So I'm starting my spring training of my 7th season in the minor leagues. Last day, they bring me in the office and say, Heath, we don't have any room for you in AAA. And I was like, all right, what does that mean? I'm freaking out in my head. Well, you can go to AA or you can have your release and go find another job. I have 3 kids. I need a job. I'll go to AA. I'll do whatever. Because I was like, man, what do I do now? I'm going to get released. My dream's over. So I said, I'll go to AA. And I said, can I have my AAA pay? And they're like, what does your contract says? I'm like, I haven't read that in 7 years. I sign it every year. Literally it was $200 more. Or it's $200 less in AA. And I just wanted the extra $200. And he goes, yeah, we'll give you that. And I said, okay. I want to say it was probably almost 3 months, so say 2.5 months later, I get called up to the big leagues. And it was like, I was freaking out. So first batter I ever faced, 3 fastballs, struck him out. It's actually David Wells. So anyway, I pitched 2 innings, struck 4 guys out against the San Diego Padres in Shea Stadium. My 10th year in pro ball, I found out I was traded to San Diego. And I was really excited because this is kind of where I was born. I think it's kind of ironic how I get called up to the big leagues with the Mets. The first team I ever faced that day was the San Diego Padres. I get traded 3 years later to the San Diego Padres, and the first save I ever get is in Shea Stadium and, against my old team, the Mets. Even though I love the Padres and I'm a diehard Padre fan and I really feel like I'm a San Diego Padre more than I'm a New York Met, but the New York Mets gave me a chance. And it just didn't blossom with them, it blossomed with San Diego, and I think San Diego just kind of saw that. My 3rd year with the Padres, all of a sudden I made the All-Star team, and it was like a kid at a candy store because, man, and I never made an All-Star team in Little League. I literally had to wait until I was in the major leagues, my 5th or 6th year in the major leagues to make an All-Star team. Never made one in the Little League. So to all the kids out there never making Little League that love baseball and have a passion for it, just keep busting your butt. Away from the game is just really, it's hard, but it's I love being a dad now. So it's funny because I did get offers the last 2 years to kind of come back and try out in spring training, but you know, this is more important because I was thinking, like, getting back to what I was saying, after 11 years, if I keep playing until I'm 40, am I just being selfish? Because I have kids. I don't want to be that Major League Baseball player or star that, oh, hey, you know, that was your dad? You know, how was he like? Well, he was never around, you know? Like, yeah, he's a great star, but he was never around. I became a Christian, didn't really know about the Lord growing up. I had a marriage, I had 3 kids, but I just felt like something was missing. Thought it was the big leagues. Got to the big leagues, wasn't that. Kind of established myself, wasn't that. I was like, I always felt like there was something missing. And my wife kind of mentioned, hey, let's go to church because, you know, it'd be good for the kids. I'm like, all right, but I'm not going if I don't understand it. Marriage was going kind of south, you know, because it was just hard. We're always gone. I'm always gone, and she has to raise 3 kids and one with special needs. It's not easy. We kind of, I couldn't really tell you how we found the Lord, but we kind of did. And in saying that, like the void that was in my heart filled up. And I just feel at peace. When I started spring training that year in 09, man, my first 2 outings, I don't think I got out of the inning. And I got pulled, and I was like, and my wife called me, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. And I said, I used to pitch with so much anger, and like, I used to think, man, you are not gonna take, this batter is not gonna take the roof over my wife's head, not gonna take the food off my kid's table. I felt like I was going to war, and I just used to think the worst things ever, so I could just, you know, if I, you know, hit him in the back, I didn't care, this and that, and I go, I don't have that anger anymore. I'm just kind of happy. And then I went to bed the next night, and I woke up just feeling like, I felt like the Lord goes, Heath, you're pretty good. That's it. So my next outing was 2 days later, dominated again. My wife goes, hey, what changed? And I go, man, I'm actually pretty good at pitcher. So I guess my younger self, I'd just say, hey, dude, just believe in yourself. You are good. Even though in Little League, maybe you sucked. You weren't very good. High school, you didn't make varsity until you were 8er. You're crying like a baby right now. But, you know, just like you're good. Just believe in yourself. Hi, I'm Heath Bell, former Major League pitcher, former Major League closer, 3-time All-Star, and you're watching The Block.
Heath is continuing to enjoy retirement and is currently coaching a traveling Little League team. We really hope you guys enjoyed the season finale of The Block.
You can catch bonus footage of the show and watch it weekly on your computer or mobile device at theblocksd.tv.
Also, get a behind-the-scenes look at The Block by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Block SD.
Stay on the rise, San Diego.